Grand Rising. I want you to see first and foremost where we are in prophecy right now. Jeremiah 30:16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. This is what is happening now to our people. Verse 17. For I will restore health unto thee. We are being restored physically, mentally, and especially spiritually. And I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Most High, because they called thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. If you in 2024 are still saying that Jesus came and died for the sins of the world, John 3:16, I'm here to call you a liar. I'm here to call you the son or daughter of Satan, because your history proves that you never believed that, and you never instituted that when you had authority. You've always excluded the Most High's people. When you said Jesus came and died for the sins, you said, well, they came and died for the sins of the Edomites, the colonizers, and our vassals. But you so-called Negroes, that we gave you that name, you children of the Most High, He didn't come and die for you. But see, you guys have ran around your whole lives saying John 3:16, Galatians 3:28, neither Jew nor Greek. But in practice, since 1501, 1502, you had never given us the option of accepting your Jesus in order for us to not have to go through the cursing and the slavery that we had to go through. The Spaniards were the ones that instituted, this type of slavery for the first time in like 1501, 1502, of chattel slavery, where we were not even a human. And you other nations just followed suit with what the Spaniards did. So all you people want to say, oh, I'm Protestant. You still push the black people are 3/5 of a man and their property, and they don't have the opportunity to accept Jesus and get baptized and get out of this slavery they're going to go into. Let's take a look at this. This is what you guys have pushed. Jesus, Zeus, died for the sin of the world. But you never offered that to our people. This is why you're seeing all of these natural disasters. Hurricane Helen right here, who just went through and just destroyed many of these sundown towns. Many of these towns that had done horrible things to our people and they thought they were going to get away with it. These hurricanes have spirits. These hurricanes have eyes. And they are guided. Nothing happens on accident. They followed the path where many of these sundown towns that have done horrible things to our people and never paid, payment is being rendered now. Vengeance is being served now. Now you see many of these cities and counties are wiped off the map. And have you not noticed how your country is not coming to your aid anymore? People are like, there's videos popping up about how there's all these bodies and all just out here on the riverbanks and this and that, and no one's coming to save them. Where's the military? Where's this? We told you. Your time here is just about over. See, before they would have been tripping over themselves trying to get a photo op and show the helicopters coming in and the government and the military coming in to save the day. You're not seeing that no more because there's no day to save. Your time in power and rulership is just about over. This is why all this information is coming out, and the Most High has shut your mouths. Just so you can see, look, Negroes, Afro-American, African-American, those are all proverbs that were made up by these Gentiles to hide the fact that you were destroying the Most High's chosen people. So see, the prophecy was that the church, the abominable church of Satan, your Catholic church, the ones who set up this whole slavery system of us being chattel slavery, this all goes back to the church. They're the ones, the Spaniards set this up. The Spaniards didn't make a move without the church. The government had to be ordained in their actions by the church. So they can point the finger at each other, Democrats, Republicans, the Spanish, monarchy, or the church. It doesn't matter. They're all guilty because they're all together. So this tells you who the abominable church was going to exclude from white boy Jesus being able to save. White boy Jesus was not going to be able to save the Most High's chosen people. So you look at who these churches excluded from being able to accept baptism from their church and get out of slavery, then that lets you know whoever they excluded were the Most High's chosen people. And all the vassals came under the church, and they were thanking white Jesus that they didn't have to go through the death and destruction and the cursing that these so-called black people or the Most High's chosen people were going to go through. So 1 Nephi, Book of Mormon, 13 and 8. And the angel spake unto me, saying, Behold, the gold and the silver, and the silks, and the scarlets, and the fine twined linen, and the precious clothing, and the harlots are the desires of this great and abominable church. And also, for the praise of the world, do they destroy the saints of God, and bring them down into captivity. So that's why they go to church. Again, not to learn anything, not to grow spiritually, just because, hey, thank God they didn't put me in that position. Thank God they're only destroying these Negroes. That's a nice way of putting it. They haven't put it that way. They haven't put it that nice. And we know that. You thought you were better than us. All you other nations, you vassals, thought you were better than us. You just went along to get along with the colonizers. But now there's a price to pay. No Jesus get out of jail free card being used a second time. You got it once in the late 1500s when you got your freedom. You got your opportunity to be part of their society. And that was it. And of course, here we go. Jumping around all over the place all of a sudden here. That's okay. We're going to get this video in either way. We're going to get this in either way. I'm going to get this in either way, Satan. Your time of disruption and everything else is over with. So this here is from the book. Okay? Baptism and slavery. Vassalage versus salvation. The Catholic Church derived considerable power from its special relationship with Spanish monarchs, who in turn depended on religion to legitimize their conquests and political dominion. So see, these people, these groups, the monarchy, as well as the church, worked hand in hand. So you ain't going to be like, oh, well, that was the government. Oh, well, no, that was the church. No, you're both guilty. And you're both going to pay. The Patronato Real cemented this alliance, giving the crown papal consent to fund a missionary enterprise in the 16th and 17th centuries to spread Christianity to Mexico and then the Philippines. The goal of this singular conversion effort was to extend the spiritual and spatial boundaries of Christendom, okay, to include all of humanity as believers under the control of a Christian ruler. Now, we already know it was not for all of humanity. Okay? Spain's imperial expansion thus acquired, okay, religious meaning as it enabled the church to lay the groundwork for universal salvation. Again, it was never universal. Baptism was a critical component of this endeavor because it erased original sin, a critical requirement for heavenly deliverance. In addition, I see this the whole thing. They were done with the God saved the world, he died for the whole world. Just because you put it on paper was not how you practiced it. And the Most High is going to hold you accountable. In addition, baptism had significance as a rite that symbolized entry, okay, into the Spanish political order. When newly conquered peoples accepted baptism, they simultaneously bowed to Spanish sovereignty. As such, one of the church's main goals in the Spanish colonies was to ensure that everyone was baptized, or everyone be baptized. Baptism had a different significance for Indians than for slaves, which is why everybody wanted to be considered an Indian, which reflected the complex relationship between the church and the Spanish crown, and canon versus civil law. Now, when they were deciding this, like the Spanish, well, the vassals, the Indians, if they committed a crime, it did not go under the Inquisition. It went under civil authorities. But if you were found to be a slave, like someone like myself, a negro, someone who was supposedly an outsider who came from Africa, then an outcast, a foreigner, then you went under the guise, or you went under the authority of the Inquisition. And we already know how brutal and horrible these inquisitors were. So this is how the natives or the Indians got from going under the inquisitors, and we were stuck being tortured and killed by the inquisitors because this was a religious destruction that was going on. They were destroying us as a people because we are the priests, and they wanted that position. So therefore, they made sure that us slaves went under the authority of their priests. Okay? So again, the Spanish crown required people living in the colonies to be baptized. Baptism indicated acceptance of the religion of the state and monarchy. We didn't even get that option. We didn't even get the option to accept their religion, because we were the ones the originals. We're the originals of the relation with the Most High. Whatever religions they had, they got from us. So therefore, it was imperative for them to destroy the true people of the Most High. As a sacramental rite, the ceremony marked a person as a member of the Christian community. See, we weren't even allowed to have that option to be a part of their Christian community. So don't be coming pushing the whole Jesus died for everybody, because we were not accepted into your Christian community. It incorporated individuals into the Christian body and made them subject to the laws of the church. During the course of the 16th century, baptism came to have different political meanings for Indians than for slaves, based on civil law. Indians were a colonized people, so baptism was a political tool that incorporated them into the government as vassals. Slaves, on the other hand, were from foreign lands, which we know is a lie. They were non-Christian outsiders who were baptized to save their souls, but the sacrament did not change their legal status and certainly did not impart freedom. So we were never offered freedom. We were never offered to be co-heirs in your Christianity. The only thing we got were the curses. So just like we just saw in First Nephi that the whole world gives, praise to the church of Satan for yokething down the Most High's chosen people? This is what you're seeing right here. This is why we were never accepted. So again, let's take a look at that real quick, just so we understand this. This is very important. So we're just going to go the other way here. All right, hold on, family. My computer says it's not going to work this way today. So right here. And also for verse 9, and also for the praise of the world do they destroy the saints of God and bring them down into captivity. So the true saints of the Bible, which we already know, were the so-called Negroes. They're the ones that are the true Jews. They're the true Israelites. And the whole world was giving praise and worship to this church for bringing us down. Right in front of your face. But you guys run out here, church is for everybody. It's universalism. That's what Catholic means. It's for everybody. Everybody has the same opportunities. Jesus died for the sins of the whole world, for everybody. Now, as you can see, in practice, that was an absolute lie. So anybody still saying that in 2024, you're a damn lie. And get ready for torments. Because you're sitting here lying on the Most High. You're lying about who He is and what He said, and you're lying on His people, and you're lying on what you did to them. So don't be, let bygones be bygones. Let's not talk about the past. The past is everything, because the past is what got you out of these curses. Got you, to be accepted by this demonic system, and gave you the opportunity to buy land, to live a life, and to look down on us and to see us actually build up a society that you could enjoy and ignore our plight. So if you're still pushing that BS with no proof, get ready for torments. This is very important right here. Indians were subject to the church in matters of religious orthodoxy and morality, but the Inquisition did not handle their offenses. So when they were doing stuff, the Inquisition's like, just go to the civil. Go to the civil courts. They can take care of it. But you already know how the Inquisitors are going to be. Very harsh. When the Mexican Inquisition was founded in 1571, the Spanish crown made a critical exception. The tribunal would not have jurisdiction over indigenous people. The court was only charged with enforcing religious orthodoxy among Spaniards, people of mixed race, and slaves. Indians were religious novices, and hence not accountable to the same standards as old Christians. So see, we were not considered religious novices. Why not? We're just a dumbass slave. We don't know anything. We're just dumb black people. But see, we were not considered religious novices because they already know that we are the priests and priestesses of the Most High. We have a relationship with the Most High. We are His children. So we are not novices to religious practices. This is why they did not allow the so-called, they don't want to bring in like the true Jews into the New World, because they didn't want, because they knew we were going to practice our ceremonies, and they didn't want the natives to see that. So right there, Indians were religious novices and hence not accountable to the same standards as old Christians. Okay? Yeah, let me see here. Notably, slaves from Africa or Asia, many who were also newly baptized and thus new to the faith, were not given the same leeway as Indians. Like I said, we weren't given the same leeway because we're not the same people. The Inquisition, at least in theory, prosecuted slaves for heretical practices under the assumption that they willingly disrespected the church's teachings. Of course we did. We would go against it willingly because we know that what they were saying was a bunch of BS. We know what they're saying because we're not religious novices. We know that they're lying. So that's why we were a threat then, and we are damn sure a threat now. This is why us standing up in great boldness is scaring the hell out of the entire world, because they know that we are not religious novices. So again, the Inquisition, at least in theory, prosecuted slaves for heretical practices under the assumption that they willingly disrespected the church's teaching. So again, just like today, who are the ones that are willingly going against the church's teaching today? The true Israelites, the awakened ones, and not just the 66 books that you've approved. We're going after all of your practices, and we're destroying your foundation. We don't let you set the rules up in here. You don't get to dictate what we read and what we study over here. We're not having a discussion in your playground. You don't set the rules of the debate. You don't set the rules of the discussion. That's why back then you were checking for us all the time, because you already knew that, these are the real ones, not these natives that we all, Chinos, Indians, whatever else. Hey, we're not even. They're religious novices. They don't know anything. They can be vassals, but these slaves, these so-called black people that are outsiders from Africa, which we already know is not true. They're the ones that, they're heretics. They're going against us. They're standing up against us. So I thought we didn't know anything. Thought we were nobodies. But see, they know better. And as you can see now, the whole world knows better. They all know better than to try to stand up against what's being brought up here. They know better than to try to come at the real ones now, because they know they're going to get destroyed if they do. So the Inquisition went after slaves when they committed religious crimes, because their actions were an attack on the social order. So see, there's a distinction, because if we don't do what they say, it brings the whole world down, brings down their whole society. Now, it wasn't our time to do that before, but now as we're standing up, now you see the whole social order coming down. See that? The Inquisition went after slaves when they committed religious crimes, because their actions were an attack on the social order. Our actions destroy societies. Our actions destroy all of this whole matrix that they set up, because we move in spirit and truth. We move with the Father. We move with the Holy Spirit. The angels work for us. The angels support us. Our ancestors are are giving us knowledge and understanding. They are in our DNA. The angels protect us. The angels work for us. So you got to learn how to read between the lines of what they're saying. Just like they always say, I feared for my life. Man, you got dogs, guns, backup, 10 people, 10 cop cars to take down one person, and you say, I feared for my life. Because they know, just like the Inquisition knew. The Inquisition went after the slaves, the so-called black people, the Israelites. Okay? When they committed religious crimes, because their actions were an attack on the social order. The church dealt with the religious infractions of Indians in a way that was altogether different from the way it dealt with slaves. Cases of idolatry related to pre-conquest religious practices, for example, were charged to the judge, ordinary provisional official, or vicar general of each bishopric. The bishops maintained their early conquest role as judges of morality and religious practice over the Indian population. This determination was based on canon law, which categorized Indians as wretched people in need of special protection. They were new plants in the faith. As you can see, they didn't look at us that way, did they? Okay? So as you can see, a lot's going on here. So again, just understand, it wasn't black people that they were going after. It was the saints of the Most High. Again, verse 9, and also for the praise of the world do they destroy the saints of the Most High and bring them down into captivity. So they were going after the saints of the Most High. If you read between the lines, you can hear that's who they were going after. The ones that really knew what was up. Not these other nations. You can tell now these so-called natives, they don't know jack. All these other nations know nothing. All they know is white Jesus and, oh, he came and died for the sins of the world, but then they turn a blind eye to who did not get the opportunity to be baptized and join their religion and get out of the slavery. Everyone wants to play dumb. That's okay. Keep playing dumb, though. Keep playing dumb. Because you'll be going into torments also. Because your colonizers have made you an enemy to the Most High and his people. Your get out of jail free card. Your get out of hell free card, used once. You got out of the hell that they brought on the world, but that was only going to be used one time. It will not be used again. All praise is Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Hawashai. Shalom.